Today I'm introducing a very special guest speaker. Her name is Deborah, as she worked as a former French speaker for 7 years and is now working at Cowichan Intercultural Society as a settlement worker in school, SWIS.
Thank you for having me today, and good morning. And I thank you, Tina, our team, for agreeing to have me and speak to you about Black History Month. So happy Black History Month! And today I'm going to take you through a little bit of a journey of what is the Black History Month about and how we can reflect on what the month of February is talking about. And I have a quote I will start with is, "Every month I'm black, but this month I'm blackity black black." So this is what I'm going to put on you this morning. So, yeah. So what is Black History Month? It's an American origin initiated by Dr. Carter Woodson. In 1926, he decided to put it as a month history. So before it was only a week history, it was called Negro History Month. John Wall used that word. Okay, so it was that, and it's done, and now it is a month, and we are using it as a Black History Month on the month of February. So, and you have a picture of a guy who is, does he look black to you? No? Yeah? Yeah, so he's a black guy. It's a blackity black. Okay, so and the next picture is going to tell us why is Black History Month in February. So in February, we celebrate Black History Month because of these two people. You're going to see the picture. One is the former U.S. President, Abraham Lincoln, thanks to his Emancipation Proclamation Act in 1863, and the fact that he pushed for the constitutional amendment to permanently outlaw slavery. This is all these actions caused to stop slavery. And also, the second guy is Frederick Douglass here. French is my first language, so I say names in French. Frederick Douglass he fought throughout most of his career for the abolition of slavery. So he's the father of the civil rights movement in the United States. So sometimes we ask a question, why is something done in the United States, we're bringing that here in Canada? What does that have to do with us? So, and this is a report I'm going to be addressing this morning. So what is the Canadian stand on slavery and Black History Month? So slavery was officially abolished across British North America. That time it was called British North America, now called Canada, and August 1st, 1834. And then a Black History Month was initiated, as you can see, it was initiated in 1926. 1926, with Woodson Carson, we have a Black History Month initiated, but it wasn't until December 1995, next slide, that Black History Month was recognized in Canada and pushed by the Honorable, you're going to see that on the screen there, Jean Augustine. She is the first Black Canadian woman elected to Parliament. So it has to take to a Black person to be in the Parliament to push for Black History Month to be recognized throughout Canada. This is why we celebrate Black History Month. But it's not completely all the why thing. So we have another reason why we celebrate Black History Month here in Canada, why it is very important for us, for you, for me, to know about Black History Month. Because few people in Canada are aware of the fact that African people were once enslaved in the territory that is known as Canada. So believe me or not, there was slavery here. And how those who fought enslavement helped to lay the foundation of Canada's diverse and inclusive society. And it needs to be known, because it's a story that is not known. We hear from the point of view of those who did slavery. We don't hear from the point of view of those who live in slavery, who've been in slavery, and it's important. So the goal is, first of all, to honor contribution. We're going to the next slide. contribution of Black. So Black History Month is a time to learn more about these Canadian stories and the many other important contributions that Black Canadian and the community have made to the history and continued growth in this country. And the second goal is to educate on history, raise awareness about the history of slavery in Canada, talk about the Underground Railroad and the experiences of Black loyalists, and which is vital to know the story. And it's important to know that, as you see, history tends to repeat itself. If we don't know that story, we don't know how to go forward, because the goal is to move forward. How do we do from there? It's been done. How do we take it from there? What do we do next? And this is the next step will be to combat racism and invisibility, because people who look like me went through that things of slavery. Unfortunately, the media, the story, everything is about, if you look like me, my story is tied to slavery, which is not true. And it has to be stopped, that those discrimination, bias, and prejudice against Black people and other minority who doesn't look like those who caused slavery. We need to combat that. And we need to encourage Canadians to foster inclusivity. So learn, reflect, and participate in building a truly equitable and diverse society. And I think if we are getting along, we're going to avoid history to repeat itself. Okay. So, and now, to me, the very important part I add to the Black History Month is I don't come here to make you feel guilty about looking at those people who caused slavery. If you are anxious about that, relax, because I want you to accept me as a Black person, as different from you. And by the way, do not say you don't see color. It is rude to say that. If you don't see my color, it means you are going to be doing bias and prejudice thing against me. Please see my color. I'm blackity black. See that, okay? So don't say you don't see color. So, and it is important for us to know all that, to be able to work together, to not be going in this crazy world we're living in. And so to learn about Africa before and after slavery, you need to know that. I come from Africa. In my ancestor history, I don't remember my grandma talking about slavery. Even my great someone somewhere has it, but it wasn't tied to me. And I'm not saying there is no trauma about it. Some people have lived it here in Canada, and they still speak about it. But I'm here also to tell you, Africa was there before slavery, and Africa is still there after slavery. And so you need to know that. And so this is why I put together one of the songs to tell you a little bit about how was Africa before slavery. So we are going to play that for you.
Well, hey everybody! Welcome to Mr. Harold's music class. February is Black History Month, but really, we celebrate Black history every day. So let's sing a little song about it. Black history is the story of you and me. Black history goes way back for centuries. Black history did not start with slavery. Black history 365, not just February. That's it. Now let's put a little sauce on it. Are you ready? 'Cause here we go. Our story begins in Africa, where the very first humans that lived are from. Along the Nile, big civilizations like Egypt and Kush and Nubia. We already know about the pyramids, built by blacks, not aliens. The African empires are glorious for their knowledge in science and medicine. Studied the stars, astronomy, made the calendar in 4000 BC. Math, religion, philosophy, Europeans came to study. Ask the Greeks, so many pharaohs, kings, and dynasties. Even women were rulers, treated equally. Look around, 'cause we're all brothers and sisters, 'cause we all have an African ancestor. Black history is the story of you and me. Black history goes way back for centuries. Black history did not start with slavery. Black history 365, books only mention blacks as slaves after the 1600s. But there's more to the story. There were many black people in America before the Spanish and European conquerors. The Mali Empire sailed the Atlantic, went to Mexico to trade with the Mayans, brought back corn to the African lands. Do your research and you'll understand. Thousands of black folks sailed the seas to discover new lands on epic journeys. Fast forward to the 1700s when the colonies fought for their independence from the UK. Remember Paul Revere? Rode on a horse that the British are here. Well, there was a black guy riding on the side, Wentworth Cheswell. He rode through the night. There were even black politicians, Joseph Rainey in the House of Representatives. Black history is the story of you and me. Black history goes way back for centuries. Black history did not start with slavery. Black history 365, not just February. Black history is everyone's history. Make sure you walk up to a black person and say, thank you. Thanks for joining us on this sing-along in Mr. Harold's music class. Until next time, peace, love, and shabam. It's futurology. It's my philosophy.
Thank you. So, Black History Month is an opportunity for you to learn about Africa before and after slavery, and also learn about the diversity in African culture. All the African black people are not the same. We don't say all white people are the same. So don't be mixed up with that. We are different, believe me or not. It's not because we have the same color, we are the same, we are different, we have different culture. Jessica here, her culture and my culture are different. We have so many different in our culture. So it's time for you to learn about those different. So how do we go from here? So to be able to go from here, I wanted to introduce myself to you. I come from Africa, obviously. You see color, I hope so. And a part of Africa called Côte d'Ivoire. So French is my first language, and Côte d'Ivoire is a French-speaking country. It's in West Africa. And in English, we say Ivory Coast. So, and this is my country. And I was born in the north, which is the long name, Ferkessédougou. This is where I grew up. I went to school, I graduated there. And in my country, you will see many other things. Next slide, please. You will see many other things like our houses. You have traditional houses going with modern, and you have a market like your farmer market. This is how it's going to be. Can you guys see? Yeah, this is going to be my kind of market and also commercial market. So I have a story to tell you about someone in Belgium, a student asking me if we live in trees in my country. I don't know if he was joking or he was being, sorry for the word dumb, I don't know. But he asked me a question and I said, yeah, I went with the flow. I said, yeah, you know what? We have a family of 16 kids. And my dad, when it's nighttime, he just go, ooh, and we just all climb in our trees and we go back to sleep. And he went, whoa. I said, really? You did believe me? So it's so you know, Africa is very developed. Don't look at what the media, the documentary all show you the very sad part of Africa. It's not only that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. But it's not only that. We have beautiful things. We have music. We love music. Music is our way to tell stories, and we use music to do that. We have also the culture of, you see, African. I was going to show off, but I don't have anything to put over my head and walk with it, and just even balancing on your head and leave it. And we have a game. We play game in my country, as you guys also play games, and instrument music, as I said, we can just go over. Yeah. So this is called a kora, and balafon is also one of the part of my culture. And my dad taught me a little bit to play the balafon, so I have a workshop at Duncan Christian School about how to play with a student balafon. So if you continue, you will see me teaching balafon to the kids during Black History Month, and also I was taught to play the drum, the African djembe, and I play that. And so now, Now that I spoke to you about my story, you don't feel like I'm accessible, that you know me a little bit, that she's a French speaker, she comes from Cote d'Ivoire, she has things we also have here in her country, and I have a life that looks probably similar to some of the things you know. So it makes you at ease to know me and come to me and talk to me. And this is why, because I told you my story. Next slide. I told you my story. I introduced me to you. And this is why it's important for us to know during this Black History Month is for us to make sure we listen to each other's story. Don't assume things about people when you see them different from you. It's a danger zone. When you start assuming, you see someone dressing a way is dressing, look a way is looking, and you start assuming and talking about the culture of that person, this is where things goes in a dark place. This is why we need to listen to each other's story, because if we don't do, this is what Reverend King says. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. So I am very thankful to you, to the school, to the staff, for inviting me here to tell you my story. And I hope from here you are going to be learning about each other, not assume. Thank you for having me.
So on behalf of the Queen Margaret School community, Deborah, I'd just really like to thank you today for coming here and through personal narrative and through the history of Black people in the African continent, you've taken Black History Month and the way that we can learn about the different perspectives, and you've broken down the barriers that might exist with your humor and with your insights. And I think you've also hopefully begun to break down perhaps some barriers of mindset or some ways of thinking to try and help offer us a different way to approach a topic and to approach people and the differences between us and how we view each other. And you did that in a really powerful way. It was a second week in a row that we've had a presenter who has used personal story and personal experience. And it's a great lesson for all of us to share our stories. They are interesting. It is fascinating. It's wonderful to get that insight. And I mentioned it to you yesterday, but I'm really grateful that you chose to look back millennia, and you really contextualized often what is focused on in Black History Month to something so much greater that can then. It takes our thinking further. And anyway, I'm so grateful for the way you set that presentation up. And I could tell from everyone here in the chapel that people were really drawn to it and were focused and engaged on it. So thank you so much again. Another round of applause. Great, so lots for us to think about as a community this month, and I know that your teachers will look for ways to build in different resources and things like that into your learning. Enjoy the rest of the week, have a great day, and I'm going to invite Deborah to lead us out today, so please stand. You want to come? Thank you.